Hello. Hi, Carol and Donna and Stevie. Yes, we will be back in July. Oh, well, not in this class, not on Thursday. I think the Tuesday will be in hybrid. I'm only going to do the Tuesdays at first just because I want to see how the whole thing goes. It's been 3 years. I have to make sure that everything runs smooth. So we'll try the Tuesday, Wednesday, see how that works. I'll do yoga for wellness Wednesdays, osteoporosis in a chair class, and we'll see how that works. And we'll ease back in. So for those of you that do not live here, I'm in Los Angeles. I was teaching 7 live classes before March 2020. And so there's a potential that I'm going to go live again, and we're going to do what's called a hybrid, so that I will be in the physical space teaching, and we'll have a camera so that those that want to come in through Zoom can do that. Because at this point, honestly, in 3 years, there's women that practice with me that don't live in Los Angeles. And so I'd like that opportunity to still exist. So the goal is in July 11th will be the first time of attempting to go in person. And of course, well, don't hold your breath because let's see if that happens, because who knows? So we've become very flexible since 2020, right? Mentally. Well, we should be anyway. If you want to manage your stress and live as healthy and happy as possible, mental flexibility is required. And definitely it's been a test of that for us all. Deborah, hello. You've been with me before, I believe. Stevie, Sharon, I think you have. And if you haven't, tell me, because we might have just had a call recently. So I'm sorry. Since the summit, I've definitely had a lot of discussions. I have my next Healthy Gut, Healthy Bones group course with labs coming up. So I am opening the doors to that, taking women in to run functional labs to look at root causes of bone loss. And this next one is starting now. So I'm not sure. Okay, second time. Sorry. Anyway, I try to remember. I try to do things, remember who's here and who's not. Anything going on this week for any of you? I'd like to know that. Hi, Sharon. Yes, I know, Jean. And so that is my goal, is not for it to become a physical class, and it won't be 7 like I was doing before, that's for sure. So I'm not sure what it'll be, but this Thursday class I'm going to keep online on YouTube for now and play everything by ear. I've also started traveling a lot more and taking May 9th and taking to Bali August 30th to September 8th. And I will probably do another Scotland one in the fall. So I want that liberty. and the way that I do that is I teach these classes from my hotel room on Zoom. And so as long as that option remains there for me, then I'll feel better about everything. So yes, I want to teach so that you could teach with me you could practice with me in Pennsylvania. And I just had a conversation with someone who's been practicing with me for a year, not live, but recorded, and does yoga for osteoporosis 5 days a week. So that's great, because I don't even know how many, but hundreds of recorded practices for you to practice. And the goal is safe, strong stimulation for the body. So anyway, all right, anything anyone has to say? If not, I'd love to get started today. But if you do have something to say, please do so. And if you're new here and you want to introduce yourself, someone asked me, how do I do that? You go up to the computer, and I'm pretty sure there's a chat box, and you could let me know who you are, what's going on, what do you need? And yeah. And then go to my website, subscribe if you're not subscribed. My website has a lot of information. I created a root cause quiz. So you can do a quiz to get a little bit of indication of root causes of bone loss. That's my website. Go to my website, sign up for my newsletter. You can get in touch with me there also. There's a contact me form. So if you needed to get in touch with me, you could there. All right. So osteoporosis, whether it's porosis, penia, whatever it is, yoga with the intention of strengthening our muscles and our bones and relaxing our mind, because this is the commander. This right here drives everything. Even if you sat, even no matter what you do with food and exercise, if you are in a chronic state of trauma, anxiety, and mental emotional stimulation, you are breaking down bones. Because cortisol and the hormonal aspects of cortisol is a breaking down hormone. It'll break down bone tissue. So no matter how perfect the diet is, how much movement you're doing, you have to manage this here. And that's why this is a big part of what I teach, because it is such an important part to all facets of health. So the first part of class is to slow down your mind. I met with a woman in these last few days and she said, I don't like to do the slow stuff. And I said, oh, but the slow stuff is the advanced stuff. It's the harder stuff. It means that you really get it, that, wow, this is what I need. Slowing down, doing breath, whatever it is we're doing, being in the moment, holding the postures longer. That's how you strengthen your joints, your muscles, your mind, and develop that power and that confidence in your body and your bones as you age. So for today's practice, we will need a blanket, a block, and a strap. Do what you can. Don't do nothing. Don't say, I can't do that. I don't weight bear on my wrists, but find where you can weight bear on your wrists or whatever else it is we're doing. So try to find some movement, some weight bearing aspect. The blanket, we're going to need a blanket for today as well. Let's begin with the blanket. Great way to start stretching your spine and doing a great opening of the front body. Super important for everything, healthy aging and many other aspects, bone health, everything, lots of stuff to stretch the front. So the tighter you roll up your blanket, the bigger the stretch will be. If you have a torn rotator cuff in your shoulder, or you are coming back from something like that within the last, I'd say 6 months, maybe a year, I would go mellow, more mellow. You don't want to pull on something that's torn. And the higher up you have yourself from the floor, the more you're going to be pulling and stretching these muscles. Make sure it's appropriate for you if you do that. It's your practice. So do what's right for you. So bringing your tushy onto the ground, having the blanket there, then bring yourself onto the blanket with your spine, not your pelvis. So leave your pelvis off, spine on. Open your eyes, bend your feet, or bend your knees and your feet, I guess. Your ankles are bent, so that you actually are aware of where you are. So be aware right now with your eyes. Move your body in a way that you have the spine supported, the tailbone and the sacrum in the ground. So you feel that action there. Eyes are still open so you can feel the safety as you come in. And then take your arms out to the side. Lengthen the back of the neck. And moving the arms up and down with the eyes open at first. Feet are wider than the body. Knees are falling in towards each other. This will determine a lot for you. You'll be able to find a lot here. You'll be able to maybe feel your belly stretch, maybe the front of the body. Maybe you feel a sensation on the back of the body. Noticing what you notice and where you notice it. And then bending the arms, letting the hands float away from the ground. Palms are up towards the sky. So where you will or should feel this is in the arm area, either the whole arm, the shoulder, the chest. I'd like you to feel it in the front of the spine, but you also may be feeling it in the low back. If that's the case, activate your core, push your belly back towards your spine to protect your lumbar spine. And then keep moving your arms, close your eyes, go to a deeper place of feeling. So now you're not seeing, you're not bringing in visual stimulation through the optic nerve. You're now actually going in the part of the brain where the feeling aspects are. And notice what you notice. This is how you keep yourself safe in the practice. You stay very body aware. You learn about your body. That's how you're going to create the maximum bone building stimulation and muscle stimulation and keep yourself safe in the process. Take your arms out to the side in whatever position brings you the deepest and most appropriate stretch for your body.
Tailbone is pressing into the ground. You could push your low back towards the blanket. That'll help to reduce some of the pulling action that may be happening in the low back because we're manipulating the middle spine. So the tension may be received or perceived in the lower spine or the cervical spine, the neck. Notice that. Bring your awareness to your neck. We're going to move our head side to side. So start a little bit at first. And if you did roll up a blanket, there will be a downward movement. So you don't want to go too quickly, and you want to make sure that the stretch coming in is appropriate for you. Let's do this slower and do it with breath. Inhale. As you exhale, let your head move towards one direction. The nose is reaching up and to the side. So let your neck be long when you do this. Almost like you're sniffing the air when you come back up. And exhale into a place of relaxation. Then bring yourself back up to center. Press your arms into the ground. That activates the back of your body. And then slowly feel that tension in the back of your body. You may even feel it down by your belly. If you feel it in the low back, push the belly towards the spine, low back towards the blanket. And then release. Let's do a couple of rounds of breath called Brahmari. This is a humming breath. It relaxes blood pressure, heart rate. It calms the nervous system. It releases a chemical that helps to relax the airways. And it gently vibrates your vocal cords. So the part of you, the throat area in the energetics aspects of yoga called chakras. It's the fifth chakra, Vishuddha chakra. And it is the right to speak and to be heard. So let's clear this part of our body, the part of us to speak and to be heard, using a gentle humming on the exhale. Let's do 3 rounds of Brahmari breath. Keep your mouth closed, big inhale. When you finish your 3rd round, keep your mouth closed. Bring your awareness to your mind, to your brain. Notice if you feel that vibration in your brain. How do you feel from doing that? And then let's wiggle the fingers and toes. Take the body to a straight position. Straighten, stretch, feel that stretch in your body. Create as much stretch as you can. And then bend your knees. Let's come on to our side, whichever side you'd like. Come on to the side. Keep the blanket behind your back. So keep that there for reference. Take your arm. Let's warm up the shoulder, warm up the chest. Warm up the muscles for back bending and for rotation. You inhale when your hand goes back and your palm is up and your chest is open and your shoulder is open. You exhale when your hand turns down, when your arm is closed off. You inhale when your arm opens, your shoulder joint opens, your chest stretches, your arm stretches, and you exhale to come forward. So this is actually even normally, in most cases, pretty therapeutic, even for those with shoulder issues, because you've got gravity helping to keep that shoulder joint in the socket. And then you're moving through this big range of motion, especially here when you're at the back. You've got the shoulder joint going into external rotation and stretching the muscles. But pay attention, be in your shoulder, make sure it is safe for you. And then bring yourself back to center. Exhale, let your elbows be together. And as you inhale, let your elbow reach up, shoulder blade goes towards the spine, chest pushes forward, heart opens. Feel that stretch. Try to stretch the thoracic spine where the ribs are. Let's try to make this more about that. This is not about getting your arm to the ground. Reach your arm up. Now slide that shoulder blade towards the spine to be protective. Push your heart forward, lengthen your spine, adding the back bend. And try to rotate the thoracic spine. Exhale back. One more. Inhale up, shoulder blade to the spine. Press the heart forward, lengthen your spine. Stay here. You're lifting, stretching your spine, pushing your heart forward, bending the upper spine and twisting. Use the belly button to push back to protect the low back. And then bring yourself back to center. Let's go to the other side. So come back up onto your blanket with your spine, roll through the center, go all the way onto the side, bend the knees, start with the hand. You inhale when your hand goes open, stretching your shoulder. When you come back down to the bottom, palm turns down, that's when your exhale begins. Inhale to open. We're doing a clockwise movement. One more. Bring your hand behind your head, clasp your hand behind your head, exhale. As you inhale, lift your elbow up, slide the shoulder blade actively towards the spine. Lengthen your spine, push your heart forward, and rotate open in the upper spine. Feel the stretch where you feel it, make sure it feels appropriate in your body. Exhale to come back. Inhale, go slow. Elbow up, actively sliding the shoulder blade towards the spine. Pushing the heart forward, lengthening the spine. One more. And then bring yourself out. We're going to come up from here to a seated position. Using your hand, push your hand into the ground, push your elbow, bring yourself up, come all the way up. Let's prepare the space to move. Take your blanket. So we're going to use the blanket up by the head for these 4 positions. The least amount of fold you could do, the more posture correction you're going to be doing for yourself. You've got gravity pushing on you. If you have roundness in your upper back, you want to try to minimize that. So when you support your head, you're supporting that roundness. So the least amount of support you give to your head on the ground, you have that opportunity to stretch what needs to be stretched. Front of the spine, shoulders, and chest muscles to help with that tightness aspect or the muscular aspect of that posture, that rounding posture. It's called kyphosis. Let's bring yourself to the side, come all the way down onto the ground. Let's warm up the hips. Take the feet so that the heels are on the mat and the feet are off. Now we're going to go side to side. The intention is to warm up the hip joint. The more you push your legs away from you as you go to the side, be in your hips and feel them. This is not about trying to get to the ground. Getting to the ground means you've tilted your pelvis, means you're in your back and you're stretching back muscles. I want this to be very hip focused, warming up the hips, lubricating the hips, so we stay safe when we create hip joint stimulation, hip bone stimulation. So as you inhale, letting your knees and legs push away from you, trying to unbend that front or that top hip when you come, try to feel this isolated in this part of your body. Exhale, contract your core, belly button to spine, and come back to center. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, contract your core, protect your low back, come back to center. Go slow, let it be muscular. So you slowly let your muscles come into this, then you contract your core to bring your legs back to center. Go slow, close your eyes, feel it. Even these warm-ups can be muscularly strengthening if you let them be. Come onto your heels, lift your toes off so that you roll on your heels. Feel that stretch. If you'd like, you could let your head go the opposite direction of your legs, really trying to bring this stretch into your body. Try to let it be the legs that are moving. Don't let the spine move too much. So you really stay in the waist and the abdominal muscles, the back muscles, the hip muscles, the quadriceps, the hip flexors. You'll feel it if you do it slow and with intention. One more each side. And then bring yourself back to center. Bring your feet back onto the ground. Knee in, the other knee in. And let's bend and unbend the legs, warming up the hamstrings. This is actually great for those with knee issues too, because gravity this way doesn't have the same negative effect in a pain sense as it does when it's the other direction. If your legs are right above your pelvis, you now have the opportunity to activate your core. If you take your hands and you push it into the base of your torso, right by your pubic bone, you'll feel very strong muscles, pelvic stabilizers, core stabilizers activate. But for some of you, you may need to have your knees closer to your chest. Your practice. Now reach with the heels. Heels are up towards the sky. Toes are pulling towards you. So going into the calves now. Feel the calf stretch. Feel the burning in the muscles, using the muscles to hold the legs in this position. This is forward folding. Forward folding should take place at the joint. So we want to learn how to stay in a forward fold, strengthen the muscles in a forward fold, and not have the spine do that action. Draw your knees into your chest. So we're going to do 2 leg stretches, and these are forward folds. The things we're told not to do, but because we're on the ground here, having our spine supported in the way that it's supported, this is safe to do in this position. So take your strap, bring your strap onto the left foot. Let's do the left foot first. Strap onto the left foot right at the arch. And then take your hands, reach your hands down the strap, wrap your hands around the strap. Pull the foot down to deeply root the leg into the socket. You could straighten the right leg if you'd like, if that feels appropriate for you, or keep it bent, up to you. What you want to do is be as active as possible with the left leg. Push the left leg away from you, and now with your muscles, so very active legs, now draw the left leg towards the wall behind you. Keep the knee straight. That's more important than anything. If you could keep that knee straight so that you're pulling on the end parts of the hamstring muscle group. You're pulling where it attaches to the pelvis and where it attaches behind the lower leg bone. Pull the leg towards you. Try not to tilt your pelvis back and flatten your low back. So if you come into where you're doing that, it's not an indication of being more flexible. You get to get your leg back farther because you tilted your pelvis to do so. Try to keep your pelvis in a neutral position. and draw back. Create as much tension as you could feel right where the leg attaches to the body, the end of that hamstring as it attaches to your pelvis. Pull on your pelvis. Push your leg away, pull your leg back. Take one more breath. And then go ahead and release. Let's keep the strap in the arch. Take the strap into the left hand. We're going to go into the adductor. We're going to pull on the pelvis from the inner thigh muscle. Keep your pelvis stable. Don't let the right hip joint fly off. Straightening the leg, if that feels okay for you, will actually help to stabilize the pelvis a little more, but only do it if it's appropriate. Leg is up towards the sky. Then you're going to inhale, lengthen your leg out to the side. Keep moving the inner thigh away from the top right thigh. Don't let the leg move down towards the feet. What do I mean? Don't let this happen to try to get to the ground. Keep your leg up high and out to the side. For some of you, if the leg is too heavy to hold with your muscles, you may want to put the block there. And even if you're resting on the block a little bit, still pushing the right leg into the ground or the right foot into the ground, stabilizing the pelvis, pushing into the strap and the arch of the left foot, moving the left leg up towards the wall behind you the whole time. Create as much tension as you can in your body to pull on your bones. We want to create that bone building stimulation in the practice, the whole time, the whole posture. Use your breath, keep your mouth closed, breathe in and out through your nose. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself up and out. So even when you get stronger and better at the practice, stronger all the time, still create as much tension as you can every time you show up to the practice so that your bones get stronger, your muscles get stronger. And then if you're just starting out, pace yourself. You'll get there. I've observed it in thousands of people getting there to that place of strength and flexibility and increased range of motion. It is possible. And I've even seen that in my own body, from hip replacement, not being able to do much, to what I could do now. And so it is possible, but you want to go slow and pace yourself. The intention is to pull on bones here. You want to pull on your pelvis. So if you straighten the knee, you're going to get to the back where it attaches, and it attaches onto the pelvis. So try to have the straight leg. You want to be very active. Push the right leg away from you with your muscles. Activate your quadriceps. Push that femur bone away with the muscles. Left leg could be straight or bent, up to you. And then let's enter. Draw the leg towards the wall behind you. Keep your low back off the floor. Don't tilt your pelvis back. It doesn't matter how far back your right leg goes. It matters how much you pull on your pelvis. Push the leg away and pull it back at the same time. Create tension. Create the appropriate stress. This is making stress your friend. Stressing your body, stressing your bones, pulling on them more than you usually do. And that's how you create bone building stimulation. Push away, pull back. Push away, pull back. Pull down, push away, pull back. Take one more breath. And then release. We're going to come into the side, going to the side. So keep the leg elevated. Don't let the leg go down towards, you're not trying to get to the floor. It doesn't mean anything to do that. You want this muscle group to pull on the pelvis and to be as far away from this muscle group as possible. So as you lengthen this way, you're moving away from this top thigh. If you let your leg go forward, you came closer to it. So keep this muscle group, adductors, away from quadriceps as you lengthen out to the side. Doing what's right for your body. Use the block if you need. Push into the strap. Push your right leg or your right foot into the ground. Deep breaths. Keep pushing. Don't hang out there. Create stretch. Push the left leg into the ground. Push into the arch of the strap and draw the leg up towards the wall behind you for even more tension if you can. Take one more breath. Bring yourself back up to center. Take the strap off. Draw your knees into your chest. It's coming into the bridge posture. The goal here is to get a back bend into your spine, to push the back of the spine into itself and to stretch open the front of your spine. So we want to stretch the front, stretch the hip flexors, and we want to bend the back and push it into itself. Let's do this with a strap around our legs. We get a really nice elevation when we activate the side body to help, and you get a really nice little bit more freedom in the pelvis, a little bit more freedom in the spine to bend. So bring the strap between your feet. If you don't have a strap that's looped, then tie something, or you could even use exercise bands, like a tighter band, so you don't go beyond body distance. Make sure it's appropriate. You want to take the blanket away from the back of your head. Let's walk the feet closer to the body. So let's begin on a block. So take your block, lift your pelvis up, put your pelvis on a block. So the block is actually stage 1 for those that are new to the practice, and that might be you. And so stage 1 is to bring yourself into this shape and then to add that back bend to the thoracic spine. Using your arms alongside your body to help to add that lift, to activate the shoulder blades, to push the heart forward to get as much thoracic extension as you can is beneficial. Don't look side to side when you're elevated. No blanket behind your head, long neck, shoulder blades slide closer to your spine, feet closer to the block. Activate your adductors, pushing out on the strap here. And then squeeze your tushy. Lift your tushy up to unbend your hip joint. Close your eyes. Now bring that bend up into the thoracic spine. The weight is in the upper back area. Long neck. Push out on the strap. Squeeze your tushy. Deep breaths. Use your shoulder blades to press your heart and lift your heart. Try to bend your upper spines. Try to stretch your spine by your heart. Pushing up and stretching the vertebra there, the muscles of the front of the spine. Take one more breath. Come down slowly when you come down. Let your tushy rest on your block. Close your eyes. This is a supported bridge posture. Helps to calm the nerves, relax heart rate, support heart health. Take one more breath. And then take the block out to the side. Blanket back underneath your head if you need or want. Take the strap off. Draw the knees into your chest. Spread your legs here. So we're coming into a happy baby, holding on underneath the hamstrings, or for those that have the flexibility, to reach up and grab their feet if they're wide, not if your feet come together. It doesn't work if your feet come together. You need your feet to be wide apart. So either hold on underneath the hamstrings or hold on to the toes, really pulling the legs towards the ground. Feel that stretch of the inner thighs, feel that relaxation in the low back. And that's what it should be doing. So if it's not doing that for you, modify so this is a relaxation posture. Maybe slightly stretchy, but that somehow it brings some kind of relief to your body. Long neck. And then let's come onto our tummies. So come all the way over onto your tummy. We're going to do the locust. We're going to use our tushy, activating our glutes to help support the low back. The pubic bone, which is the bone right here at the base of your torso, if you push the pubic bone towards the ground, that helps to take some of the tension out of the low back. This is a smiley face back bend action. We are pushing the vertebra into itself at the back, activating the back of the body, the muscles to lift against gravity. It's called locust. So bring yourself into Sphinx. Elbows are underneath the shoulders. And then with length, as you come down, maybe you even feel a stretch in your belly. As you lengthen away, bringing yourself down. Forehead onto the mat. Hands are alongside your body. Big toes are touching. Push the pinky toes into the floor so the soles of the feet are up towards the sky. Forehead touches. Exhale. As you inhale, squeeze your tushy cheeks. Lift yourself up. Coming up, you could separate your feet if you'd like. Try to roll them so the soles are up towards the sky. Reach long with your hands or clasp your hands if you can keep them off your body. Shoulder blades sliding towards your spine. Push your heart forward. Open your throat. Don't let your head hang. Lift your head up against gravity, your legs, your arms, your body as much as you can. Push your pubic bone into the ground. Squeeze your tushy to protect low back, to get a little more back bend. Try to bend the upper spine, the thoracic, where your ribs are attached. Work as hard as you can to strengthen your back. These are your posture muscles, spinal alignment muscles, good for spinal health, to protect and ward off spinal compression fractures and to heal them if you have them already. For fall prevention, fracture prevention, to support your head and top of your body, lots of good stuff. Reach up on the inhale. Relax a little on the exhale. One more breath. And then bring yourself down. Take your hands, fold your arms, elbows straight out to the side. Fold the hands one on top of the other. Spread your legs mat distance. Lengthen your spine and rest your forehead on top of your hands. Breathe to your belly. You could stretch your low back by breathing down to your belly. Bend your knees. Let your feet flop side to side. That was 2 back bends in a row. Let's relax the muscles of the back, letting your feet flop side to side. So let it be more of a passive action. And then bring yourself to a static position. Arm up, roll onto your side. Take a break here. Check in with yourself. How you doing? Are you creating the appropriate stimulation? Ask and you shall receive. The more you ask, the more your body will give you. Stay in the safe zone when you do that. Take your hand onto the ground, lifting or pushing away, not lifting with your head. So push and come up. Let's move on to 2 seated postures, 2 twists. Twists are the best way to strengthen the spine. But the key things are you have to have a long spine and you have to have extension. You have to have a lift in your upper spine. If you have a roundness in your spine and then you try to rotate, that's a no-no for all spines, but especially for osteoporotic spines. No-no is a really rounded posture with twisting. So as long as you're lengthened and extended, you can safely bring that rotational force into your spine. If you do have severe scoliosis, it's better to not rotate. So that would be the counterindication, would be severe scoliosis. So we're going to need our block for this. Bring yourself onto the edge of your blanket, reach under, grab a hunk of flesh, those big muscles, move them off to the side. Then bring your block onto the side. Come over to the left at first. Now for those with long arms, you may not need a block. You want this back arm to only be there to push off, not to lean into. Back elbow is bent. Take the left leg, bend the left leg, hold on with your hands and sit as tall as you can. Take your right hand to hold onto your leg. Take your hand on the block behind you. Active right foot, active left foot. Push down, get tall, exhale, inhale, lower ribs, middle and upper. Rotate into this twist. From here, work. Push your legs into the ground, lower your shoulders, slide the shoulder blades towards each other, and serve your heart up with the shoulder blades. Let them lift forward. Let them help to add that extension into your spine. Long neck, lower shoulders. Right elbow is active. Don't let it flop. And don't rest on your left hand. Take your left hand off for a second. See if you can still stay in that rotation. And then push down and get tall. Long back neck, chin parallel towards the ground, heart lifted. Take one more breath. And then slowly release. Push the block over to the right. Let's switch. Bend the right leg, straighten the left. Hold on to the right, get nice and tall. Put your hand on the block at the back. Keep your left ankle or left foot bent. Right foot presses into the ground. Left elbow is active. Push down, exhale, and then inhale with length and extension. Rotate into the twist. Create the force that feels appropriate in your torso. Lower the shoulders, slide the shoulder blades towards each other, and then actively push the shoulder blades forward. Feel the lengthening of your spine and the back bending. Long neck. Push your feet into the floor. That'll help you protect the low back. Take one more breath. And then slowly bring yourself out. We're going to come into another twist using the lower body to crisscross, which is actually going to put tension now in the posterior hip capsule, pulling on the end of the femur bone. So creating some stimulation here in this part of the body. So if you have knees that don't bend, you could do this by bringing a leg across and a leg across, and you're going to create stimulation. We always rotate towards the leg that's up, the knee that's bent. That's the direction in which we rotate towards. So let's take the blanket and support the tushy, the right buttock with the blanket. Take the right leg, bend the right leg so that the right heel comes underneath the left buttock. and arrange yourself so that you are supported by the blanket on the right buttock and you have the left buttock on the right heel. And then take the right leg over the left. So you're in a pretzel position here. So you have your left leg in front, which means you're going to rotate towards the left. Push your feet into the ground, put your hand on the block behind you. Exhale, lengthening your spine, sliding the shoulder blades towards each other, lift your heart, and then inhale into the twist. Keep your right elbow active. Push down, lengthen, and rotate into this. And then feel that posterior hip capsule in the side that you're rotating towards. Long neck, really bend the upper spine and lengthen the upper spine. Keep creating tension. So don't come in and relax. Come in and still work. Work towards length, work towards back bend, work towards a long back neck, long spine. Active right arm. Take one more breath. When you come out slowly. Push the block to the other side. Let's go to the other side. So do what you need to do to support now the left buttock. Bending the left leg, putting the left heel underneath the right buttock. And maybe you need to fold the blanket in a couple of folds. Do what is needed for your body. Hold on to the right leg with the left hand. Take your right hand on the block. Push down and get tall. Exhale. And then you're going to inhale with length into this twist. When you're in it, look for that length in your spine and that extension in the thoracic spine. Long neck, lowered shoulders, active elbows or bent elbows. Deep breaths. Keep creating tension. To your spine. Lots of muscles from different directions, gently pulling on the vertebra, asking for more. Stimulating the osteoblasts, the bone builders. Take one more breath. And then bring yourself out. Sit on the blanket and take your legs wide. Bring your block in front of you to push down on to keep your spine long. Look forward, close your eyes. Deep breaths down to your pelvis, down to your hips. And feel the breath going up and down your spine. Keep your mouth closed, breathe in and out through the nose and breathe up and down your spine with breath. As if your breath could gently massage and relax your spine. And then gently open your eyes. Move your strap off to the side. Tip your block up onto its highest version so that when you have to reach for it, you don't have to bend down too low, setting yourself up for success. We're going to come to a standing position. So can you come into a squat like this? Maybe. Not all of you can. So if you need to do wide leg and come up from that, do that. If you can come into a squat, bring your hands together and then push yourself slowly, slowly, slowly up to standing. Try that. And if you need to get up some other way, do that.
Clear your space. And grab a chair if you need. Let me turn this on. So let's do the standing practice. So the chair, let's keep the chair there if you want it, and or a block. Come to a mountain posture, and from here, wide leg stance. Keep your legs straight, moving in your hip joint. Pick your toes up, move your toes away, move the back heel away. Straight legs here, this is triangle. Your shoulders come up, back, and down. Reach down with your hands. Exhale. Push your feet into the floor. Inhale, reaching your arms and bending your front hip. Coming down, bringing your hand on the back of the chair, onto the seat, or onto the block, depending on keeping your legs straight. Front leg has to stay straight. Squeeze your tushy cheeks to adjust your pelvis, pointing your tailbone down towards that back heel. And then reaching up. With triangle, you want a long spine, and then you want to add rotation. So there's a rotational aspect to triangle, giving a little tension there on the spine. Active feet. Push away from the floor. Feel like you're ripping your legs apart from each other. Long spine. Take one more breath. Push your feet into the floor. Keep your legs straight. Go slow to come up, working your core on the way up. And let's go to the other side. From mountain, from structural alignment. From here, coming into a wider stance. Toes go under the chair, back foot goes away from you. Shoulders are forward, up, back, and down. Exhale. As you inhale, as if you're in honey, so with resistance, don't just flop your arms up. We're here to strengthen our posture, here to strengthen our back, here to strengthen our arms. Lift with power. Inhale, bending that front hip, keep your legs straight. You may be good right here. You may feel a decent enough stretch in the back of your legs. This is where you stay. Or maybe you could bend your hip a little bit more, not your spine, to come to here, or maybe you come all the way down. Do whatever's appropriate for your body. Rip the floor apart with your feet. Contract your tushy to align your pelvis, pointing your tailbone down. Push down, rotate your heart forward. Triangle posture. Pulling on the pelvis and pushing the femur bone into the hip socket. So using compressive force in your hip to stimulate osteoblasts. To build stronger hips, stronger pelvis, stronger legs. Rotate your trunk forward, add a little bit of tension in the low back. Stimulate lower lumbar spine stimulation. Push your feet into the floor, rip the floor apart, long spine. Take one more breath. Go slow, strengthen your core. These are your structure muscles. Posture, alignment, fall prevention, fracture prevention. Bring yourself up. Resting in mountain, alignment. Push your feet into the floor, squeeze your tushy, point your tailbone down. Stack your joints. And then relax. Let's go into the twisted triangle. Chair this direction, unless you're new, if you're newer to the practice, having the chair like this, or newer, or you need to be careful. So doesn't matter whether you're new or not. I needed to do this at one point in my life, so you do what's the best for you. Coming here and using the chair to actually help with some of that upper body rotation can be really nice and get a lot of stretch in the body. So if you either put the chair like this, the block like that, if you're going to use it, and or the chair in the other direction. Bring a foot forward. This is important. Look at your front foot. Wherever your front foot is, that's the way you're going to twist. You're going to twist in that direction. So make sure you have your block set up like that, or the back of the chair if you're doing that. Toes are forward. The bend happens at the hip joint. Long spine, extension in the upper spine if you can. You're bending at your hip. Push your feet into the floor. Better to have your chair a little bit away from you so that you don't weight bear or put your weight onto the chair. You're going to inhale to come forward, bending the hip. Bring your hand either to the top of the chair diagonally across, back of the chair, or onto the block. Push away from the block, push away from the floor, lengthen your spine, rotate your trunk. Spine is long. Upper spine is extended. Push your feet into the floor, legs are straight. Push the back big toe edge in and get more spiral in your body. Take one more breath. Bend the front knee to take the tension out. Keep your head up. Bring yourself up slowly and go to the other side. Set yourself up for success. Do what's appropriate for you and your body. Foot forward. The other foot is back. Push your feet into the floor to have straight legs. Hands on the waist. Push your feet in, inhale, and bend forward into that front hip. Hand either goes across on the chair, on the back of the chair, or on the block. Do what's right for you. Push and rotate. Long spine, straight legs. Keep lengthening your spine, push your heart forward. Try to get a little back bend into the upper spine. Push away from the big toe of the back foot. Take one more breath. And then bend your knees. Bring yourself forward, bring yourself up. Mountain. Deep breaths. And then relax. Let's come into the tree posture. Chair, if you need it. From mountain, posture of alignment, toes are forward. Push your body weight onto one side, bend the knee out to the side. Bring the foot up in between the knee and the ankle. Find something to stare at, to gaze at, to focus on. And embrace any movement that's happening in your body. Shoulder blades are towards each other, heart is lifted, spine is long. Take one more breath. Bring your knee forward, bring yourself down. From mountain, pressing onto the other side, bend your knee out to the side, and bring your foot up. Make it very active. Push your foot into the ground, activate your glute. Push your heel into the floor, lengthen your spine, lift your heart, push your hands down and back. Find a gaze, long spine. Take one more breath. Bring your legs back. So we don't need the chair for these next few. Unless you do need the chair. If you do need a chair, keep it near you. We're going to come into the warrior two. So starting from mountain, take your legs wide. Bring your toes up and away, back heel back. Put a slight bend in the front leg. You're going to rip the floor apart with your feet, pushing away from the back foot. Inhale, shoulders are up, back, and down. Exhale. And then inhale, push away from the back foot. Load into this warrior two. Walk your foot forward. Can you go a little deeper? Rip the floor apart with your feet. That'll give you some stability in the lower body. Reach long with your hands, long neck. Slide the shoulder blades towards each other. Reach back with your hand. Bring your torso in alignment with your pelvis. And then push away from that back foot. Bend the front leg a little bit more. Now push the front heel into the floor a lot. Use that front glute to support you here. Strengthening that front hip bone with compressive force, back hip bone with stretching and tensile pressure. Rip the floor apart. Push your heels into the floor. Long spine. Push away from the floor. Take one more breath. You're going to unbend, bring yourself up, turn the toes in the other direction. Go slow. Use your heels to do this if you can. Bend in the front knee, shoulders are forward, up, back, and down. Reach down with your hands. Exhale and inhale with pressure. Push away from the back foot. Load into the front foot. If you need to walk the foot forward a little more to go deeper, try to go deeper. Look over the front fingers. Push down with your feet. Rip the floor apart. And then bring that pressure and power up into your body. Long neck, lifted heart, long spine. Push your heels, push your feet into the floor. Take one more breath. And bring yourself out. Come all the way out into the mountain. Rest. Catch your breath. And then shake your limbs. Let's come into the side angle. So using the block for this, maybe or maybe not, depends. Take your legs wide. Bring up the toes away, foot's away. Slight bend in the front leg. Shoulders are forward, up, back, down. Exhale. Push away from the back foot as you inhale into the warrior two. From here, reach long. Bring your arm on top of your thigh or onto the block in front of your leg. Go deeper if you can. Push your feet into the floor. Rip the floor apart and come into side angle. Try to rotate your body forward, adding a little rotational force, pulling in the hips, pushing in the hips, long spine, little rotation on the spine. Take one more breath. Bring yourself back up to the warrior two and then out. Take your block to the other side if you have one. Bring your legs into position, feet away, heel away. Slight bend in the knees. Grab the floor with your feet. Really strong feet here. Shoulders are forward, up, back, down. Reach down with your hands. Push away from the back foot as you load into the warrior two. From here, reach long with your arm, coming into the side angle on your thigh or on the block, whatever your body needs.
push away from the ground. Rip the floor apart. And then rotate your heart forward. Feel the power. Push that front leg bone into the pelvis. And feel the stretch of the inner thigh if you have your arm in front of your leg. Or even use your forearm to get that action. Take one more breath. Bring yourself back up to the warrior two, all the way up and out. Find the mountain. Bring the toes together, hands are down. Push your feet into the ground. Stack your spine. Reach down with your hands, up with your spine. Keep your mouth closed, breathe down to your feet. Take one more breath. Shake your hands. Let's take the block off to the side. Get your blanket. We're going to come down into the ground. If you'd like to try to come down through a squat, take your legs wide. Toes are out to the side. Push your tushy back. Keep your spine long. Load down into your hips, into your knees, into your legs, or come down a different way if it feels better for you to do so. So two choices. You could do one more posture, plank, or you could come down into your back and start stretching your back, bringing your knees into your chest. So decide what's the best option for you today. If you'd like to do plank, we're going to come right into plank, either modified or full variation, up to you. Close your eyes, squeeze your tushy, tailbone down towards the feet, push your feet into the floor, push your hands into the floor. Close your eyes, deep breaths. Take one more breath. Bring your legs down. If you'd like to stretch your spine, take your hands forward, push your tushy back, keep your spine long in the front, bring your forehead to the ground, or come onto your back, bring your knees into your chest. One more breath. And bring yourself up. We're going to come onto our backs, do the last posture of the day, Shavasana. Let's come down. Do whatever you need. If you need to bring your knees into your chest, or if you want to go straight into the Shavasana, do what feels right for your body. Close your eyes, stay connected to your breath. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Keep your mouth closed. Take a big inhale, and on the exhale, let every muscle in your body relax. Feel heavy. Again, inhale. Let every muscle relax. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Then bending your knees, draw your knees into your chest, rocking side to side. Draw your knees in so deeply you feel the compression against your belly. You feel your low back pressing into the ground, and go so far side to side that you get all the low back muscles, the rotational muscles that we worked a lot today in the practice. You press your spine in, that you also pressed into itself to be stimulated. And then bring yourself onto your side. From here, don't use your head, use your arms and hand to push away from the ground. And then bring yourself up. Keep your eyes closed. Nice, strong practice today. Let's close this practice with breath. Let your awareness go up and down your body. Let your hands press into your heart, and press your heart to your hands. Long back neck, long spine. Exhale. Inhale. Let's do another humming sound. And on the second hum,
Feel the heaviness and the relaxation that comes over your body as you hum. Inhale. In gratitude for the opportunity to be here, to practice, to stimulate our bones, our muscles, to take care of ourselves, to be strong, to feel strong. We bow in gratitude. You can say thank you or namaste. So today's practice was a really strong practice. That was 12 postures Dr. Fishman used in the first series, 12 poses versus osteoporosis. And there was 2 extras, the mountain and the plank. We held them for a minimum of 45 seconds up to a minute, each posture. So if you feel it today, it's because we did it today. And I also guided more in each posture to keep you in there and not let you go into a place of relaxation, but rather to stay focused that entire time and to keep stimulating, stimulating, stimulating. So I hope that it was appropriate. As always, listen to your voice more than mine and do your best, leave the rest. All right, let me see if Carson is here. Carson. I heard my cat. I couldn't open the door. All right, so I'd love to know how you're feeling for those of you that stayed. Oh, hi, Jeannie. Isn't that funny? Everyone's leaving. So Donna left and Jeannie left. And you know what? I know who's here. So Deborah and Jean, I know the ladies that are here because they've practiced with me for years. I mean, maybe since 2015. I know how strong they are. So for Donna and Carol and Sharon and Stevie, and whoever else I know, Jeannie, all super strong women that can do this. So I hope it was appropriate for you. Great, Deborah. And then you're welcome. Oh, I'm in gratitude for you, Stevie. Kathy's here too, another strong girl. Yes, July, Kathy, you asked about live. We talked about that at the beginning today. Deborah, go, here's my email. Pretty easy. Oops. Debbie at debbierobinson.com. Couldn't be easier. Reach out to me, please. Great, Jean. I'm glad. All right. Yes, July, Kathy. July. The intention is July, not the Saturday class, the Tuesday and the Wednesday at first. I'll be doing Yoga for Wellness, 9:30 to 10:45 PST, and a chair class, 11 to 12 on Wednesday. And then I'm going to do Yoga for Osteoporosis, 11 to 12:15 at Torrance. So we'll see what happens. You did. Yeah. Okay, Sharon. Great, Carol. I was thinking about you. Oh, thanks, Carol. I was thinking about you. Yeah, isn't he a cute, Jean? He's a super cutie. I mean, he is beautiful. I think they call him a flame point. He's a apricot. He's just stunning. Beautiful blue eyes. This is crazy. I have a love fest with him every morning. It's like clockwork. He sleeps here. He's on my husband's face. I go in the bathroom floor. I go on the ground. He comes, I'm in child's pose and he's right here. And I've got his face in my hands and I'm kissing him, telling him how much I love him. And it's just furry love. I call it a love fest. I do it every morning. He's gorgeous. Yeah. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He's beautiful. I have 4 cats, Carson, Willie, Whiskey, and Hamilton. So anyway, all right. Well, thanks so much for joining me, ladies. Today was a challenge. Hopefully you felt that in your body, and I did a lot of direction to try to get you to stay in there and to feel it. So hopefully it was enough, not too much. Hopefully it was Goldilocks. All right. Like if you like, subscribe if you're not subscribed, email me if you have a question. Go to my website if you want more information. Have a great day. Bye.